welcome to the show, y'all.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, y'all.
E-Lee
Get it, let's get it.
and Uncle Ron.
Let's go.
Keeping it 100, unfiltered. We the radio pundits and we're unfiltered. We gon' give it to you straight, the facts we can debate. But one false move and it's a checkmate. Ay, yes, we the radio pundits and we're unfiltered. Let's go.
Hey, y'all. What up, though? This is your nephew, Ernest J. Lee, and it's that time again. It's Unfiltered with Ernest J. Lee and Uncle Ron, along with Laurel. And we're so happy to be back once again for another round. Like the old church song says, every round goes higher and higher. Uncle Ron, did you write that one? Anyway. We truly hope that you're enjoying this show and what we're doing here. It's definitely a privilege to be able to come into your space Wednesdays and Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time from week to week to bring you the latest news, topics, indie music, and relevant content. And of course, we do it all with our own brand of comedic flow and humor. But it's not all fun and games because we definitely give it to you straight with no chasers whatsoever. Now, do me a favor and tell a neighbor, tell a friend that your kinfolk are on the radio right now. They can simply log on to www.iworship96.com and they will be connected just like that. Also, if you missed any of our shows, we've made it possible for you to download the podcast as well. You can log on to www.spreaker.com. That's Spreaker, just like speaker, but with an R. Type in Unfiltered with Ernest J. Lee in the search field, and there you can listen or download our past shows. And for the iPhone users of the world, all you have to do is go to the iTunes store and search the same name, and you too can download all of our shows for absolutely free. Now, ain't that a blessing, y'all?
That's really a
Yes,
blessing.
sir.
Yes,
it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Hiya. And all right, now look. Let me go on and introduce the fellas since they already in rare form today. You know them as distinguished gentlemen whom we like to call Uncle Ron. And also back again for the first time, it's Mr. L.A. Laurel Bird. What up, though? Uncle Ron, man, what's up, my brother? What it be like?
Man, it's all good. All good in the hood. How about with you?
I'm good, man. You know what's so funny, Uncle Ron? You done got gangsters the last couple of weeks. Last week, you like, what up, God? What's happening? You know what I'm saying? Now you saying it's all good in the hood. Uh-oh, you becoming hip-hop now. Hip-hop Ron.
The Bible says I have to become all things to all people that I might win one. So, do what you got to do, huh?
Keep about Shandana. I'm
Shanti, I see.
You got to go back to your speaking in tongue class because they ain't teach you nothing, apparently. Oh, BBB, Shanama. I am.
I like Mary. McCracken.
I like Shalimar too. Shalimar made some good records.
Wow, LABZ, what up, man? I see you back in rep form. What to do, my G?
I want to give Ernest J. Lee the round of applause for the longest intro in radio history. Oh my goodness. Sitting here about 15, 20 minutes through the intro. I'm just going to leave it at that.
You know what? You know what? I would bust you out tonight, but I ain't gonna do it because you just got back from your war too. We've been sitting in the studio waiting on you 15 hours to get here tonight. So you know what? Whatever.
I was late, but your intro made up for that.
Right?
You wasn't late, LeBron. You was real late.
He was on CP time times 10. Anyway, we have another exciting show for you today, y'all. We'll talk about the Monsanto company and the effect that they have on our food supply in America. Now, you're going to want to pay attention to that one for sure. And, of course, we'll talk about other news. We'll play some indie music. Also, we got to have a little fun as well. So just sit back, relax, and radio and chill with us for the next hour. All right, then? All right. Now, with that, Uncle Ron, let's jump on the petty wagon. Not the paddy wagon, but the petty wagon. You feel me? You already know. So let's have a good laugh right quick. So it's on you, man. What you got for us this week?
Well, I don't really have a whole lot, but I thought it was interesting. An article I had come upon this week, and everybody pretty much knows that at Planet Fitness, they have a motto or saying that it's a judgment-free zone, if I think I'm saying that correctly.
Right.
And so this gentleman came in, 34 years old, from Haverhill, Massachusetts. He came in, he stripped down, took all his clothes off, left his clothes at the counter, got in one of those. Yeah, he did. He left him at the counter, and he went and sat down on one of those mats and got into his position, whatever they call that position. I can't remember what they call it, but you sit down and you put your two fingers together and you sit
yoga.
there. And yoga, yeah. It's yoga, but it's some type of position that they call it. But nevertheless, and the gym was kind of crowded that particular day. And so he just, he didn't bother nobody. He got in his place and he sat down and sat on the mat and he checked himself out in the mirror. And some people was beginning to feel a little uncomfortable, which I could understand. So, of course, eventually the police came and escorted the gentleman out, and he was held on a $1,000 bail. And he will be arraigned on the misdemeanor charges on the 21st of this. So we just want to keep that brother lifted up in prayer. And I can always say, what kind of mess was that?
Now that's nasty, some nasty mess. That's what that was. Please tell me he wasn't one of us.
I'm really sorry, but he was not one of us.
Well, praise Jehoshaphat.
Oh my goodness.
So wait a minute. So he said they weren't gonna judge him.
The judgment-free zone.
Well, he took advantage of it being a judgment-free zone. So, the slogan worked in his behalf up to a point.
He probably was bumping that Tupac song, "Only God Can Judge Me," when they was arresting him.
Now, see, but look, now check this out. Now, if that had been a black man, he would have got shot or at least hit with a stun gun, one or the other.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Did they check him for being a little special?
I don't know. We haven't got the report yet.
His bridge don't go all the way over the water. But anyway. All right, y'all, look. We're going to take a break right here and get to some music, and we'll be right back with more Unfiltered right after this. Keep it locked, y'all.
Everybody shine your light. Shine bright so the whole wide world will know that we are kingdom. Everyone that I meet, I can give a smile. And everywhere I see a need, I go the extra mile. Yeah. Everybody's looking for change, but who will take the lead? Yeah. The change that I want to see is gonna start with me. Everybody's saying, anyone that I meet, I can give a smile. Smile. Everywhere I see a need, I go the extra mile. Everybody's looking for change. Everybody's looking for change. But who's gonna be the one to take the lead? The change that I want to see. Come on, say there's a light in me. There's a light in me that I was made to. If something's right, we will have love. Yours, and I come on, clap. We are kingdom. Come on, sing it with me. Have authority. God has given us the power, and we can change anything. What we're speaking and what we're thinking is exactly what will be. I wanna make a everybody say it now. Use me to make a use me to make a come on, you say you can count on me. Use me to make a I wanna you get the glory. Give us the victory. You get the glory. Give us the victory.
is Pastor Kelly Renee, and I'm locked into Unfiltered with Ernest J. Lee and Uncle Ron on iWorship96.com.
Yeah, red tape, y'all. Pastor Kelly, y'all. Here we go, y'all. We come to worship. Everybody, let's worship Him. We come to praise Him. We come to praise Him. Oh, yeah. Everybody, let's praise Him. Let's get on one accord. Glorify His name. For the Lord is good. For the Lord is good. The Lord is good. For the Lord is good. Pastor Kelly, let's go. We come to worship. We come to worship Him. Let's worship Him. We come to praise Him. Oh, yeah. Everybody, let's praise Him. And let's get on one accord. For the Lord is good. The Lord is good. The Lord is good. So let me see you clap your hands. Oh, yeah. Come on. Hey, let me see you stomp your feet. Let me see you stomp your feet. Come on. Then let me hear you lift your voice. Sing a new song to the Lord, for He is good. Let me see you jump for joy. Hey, come on, everybody just praise. Everybody just praise. For the Lord is good. For the Lord is good. For the Lord is good. Everybody just lift it up. For the Lord is good. For the Lord is good. Come on, wave your hands. Everybody just wave your hands. Wave your hands. For the Lord is good. 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 Come on, sopranos, help me. Let me see you clap your hands. Where are the sopranos at? Come on, come on. Let me see you stomp your feet. Come on, sopranos, let's make some noise. Lift your voice. Let me hear you lift your voice. Come on, come on. Jump for joy. Let me see you jump for joy. Where are the altos at? Come on, altos. Let me see you clap your hands. That's it, that's what I'm talking about. Come on, come on. Let me see you stomp your feet. Come on, then lift your voice. Let me hear you lift your voice. And jump for joy. Let me see you jump for joy. All right, tenors, come on and help them out. That's it, man. Sing. Stomp your feet. That's right. Come on. Lift your voice. Ooh, I like that. And jump for joy. Put it all together. Let me see you clap your hands. Yeah. Let me see you stomp your feet. Come on, come on. Let me hear you lift your voice. Sing a new song to the Lord, for He is good. Let me see you jump for joy. Everybody, come on. Everybody just praise. For the Lord is good. For the Lord is good. Everybody just lift Him up. Everybody just lift Him up. For the Lord is good. For the Lord is good. Wave your hands. Everybody just wave your hands. The Lord is good. For the Lord is good. For the Lord is good. For the Lord is good. The Lord is good. For the Lord is good. For the Lord is good. For the Lord is good. The Lord is good. For the Lord is good. He'll jump out. For the Lord is good. And save your soul. For the Lord is good. Turn my dark days into glad days. He made a way. For the Lord is good. Yes, He did. For the Lord is good. Don't you know He's been good? Oh, come on. Put your hands together. Come on. Lift your hands, everybody. Where all my praises at? Come on and clap your hands. Hey. Yeah. Clap your hands. Yeah. It's all right. It's all right. Come on and clap your hands if you know He's good. It's all right. It's all right. Clap your hands if you know He's good. It's all right. Clap your hands. Clap your hands if you know He's good. It's all right. It's all right. Woo. Somebody ought to shout glory. Come on and give Him some praise. He's worthy. Hallelujah. Red tape, y'all. Somebody shout glory. Hallelujah. We the radio pundits and we're unfiltered.
Hey, welcome back on Unfiltered. You are locked in now with Laurel on the trending topics for the week.
Okay, so I don't know if y'all know, but Omarosa just dropped a new book a few days ago. Some secret recordings too along with it. So apparently Trump is mad. He like ticked off. Trump back on Twitter again like he always do. There ain't nothing new. You know, he do that every day. And he says, and I quote, "When you give a crazed, crying lowlife a break and give her a job at the White House, I guess it just didn't work out. Good job, General Kelly, for firing that dog." Trump just be saying anything he want to say. I guess he called them black women dogs. Now, anyway, in the other Trump-related news, one of Trump's day one 68-year-old representative, Chris Collins of New York, is being charged with taking tips on an insider trading scheme involving an Australian biotech company that he serves on the board for, which is kind of fishy, you know, but he says that he plans to fight the case to clear his good name. But as of right now, it ain't looking too good. Okay. In other news, I don't know, I think everybody will remember. In case you don't, last year, there was a white nationalist rally that turned into a riot in Charlottesville, Virginia, and a car plowed through a crowd of people and killed a young lady. This year, the Unite the Right rally took place in D.C. The people got into it with the police this year as expected. You know, you can expect that. Thank God nobody got killed this year. And the counter-protesters outnumbered the white nationalists this year, which is crazy because, you know, they started the rally initially, but as they're trying to flip it around and give it a different look. Okay, you got to think about this. Take the time. I want y'all to think real deep on this one, okay? So what role hasn't a black man played yet? Let's think about that for a second. Just a second. Okay, time's up. We had a black president. We had Black Panther. Heck, we have a black Luke Skywalker. Now we may very well have a black James Bond. For the first time in history, I'm about to tear up a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. This is one of my favorite film franchises right here. Bond may very well be played by none other than Idris Elba. Yes, I said Idris Elba. L-L-I. Ladies love Idris is what they call him. Yep, the 45-year-old lady killer. Not you, Ely. Your brother. I'm talking about your brother Idris. I'm talking about your brother Idris. Though it's not official, it's been a rumor for a few years now, and sources from the franchises say that they haven't officially contacted Idris, or he hasn't had any talk with people from the franchise, but he is on the wish list. So Idris has been teasing it on Twitter and everything, you know, just giving people, you know, getting people riled up or whatever. But I guess people really want to see him as the next Bond, and I wouldn't mind seeing him as James Bond myself. So, you know, that might be a good look. We need some more black men on film, you know. Some people that ain't Denzel Washington and all that. But that's all. That's the trending news for today. And I'll check y'all next time.
Hey, this is Uncle Ron, one half of the new show Unfiltered. Listen, do you want to advertise or even be featured on one of our shows? Make sure you reach out to us and let us know. Email us at the unfilteredradioshow@gmail.com. Also, if you have any show topics and or questions that you would like for us to tackle, please feel free to let us know. We would love to hear from you. Make sure you keep it locked right here on iworship96.com every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I holla. Hey y'all, this is Uncle Ron and we're back live on iworship96.com. It's Unfiltered, y'all. Now last week, one of the leading food suppliers for these United States, Monsanto, was successfully sued by a terminally ill patient for $289 million, y'all. Yes, you heard it right, $289 million. So as I began to dig deeper into the story, I was really alarmed because, again, they are one of, if not the preeminent food supply companies for us in the United States. So I was shocked to find out that Monsanto has at least a list of 68 companies that are either owned by Monsanto or are known to use genetically modified seeds sold by Monsanto. And just for an example, Aunt Jemima, Aurora Foods, Banquet, Betty Crocker, Campbell's, Chef Boyardee, Coca-Cola, Frito-Lay, General Mills, and the list goes on and on. Wow. And we really don't know really what we're eating, to tell you the truth, but being that Monsanto is probably the largest supplier of food. I mean, they even if I'm not mistaken, don't they sell spray that keeps the bugs off of the foods and stuff, which kind of, I think, also was responsible for the young man who got the $289 million suit because of the, I can't think of the name of that.
Roundup.
Roundup, yeah. Roundup causes cancer. So we really got to be prayerful. And as I've heard somebody else say, that we as a people, especially black people, we need to get back to doing our own farming, to creating our own businesses so that we can have food that is, and I'm putting air quotes up, that is truly organic, because I don't believe that every company that says they're selling food that's organic, meaning, you know what organic is, they're just using that name to make it seem like it is and probably make more money, because organic food is more expensive than non-organic food.
Right.
That's all.
I heard about Monsanto some years back, but of course I really didn't pay attention to it like that, which, you know, sometimes you hear some things and it's just going one and out the other one. But then as you start to really investigate or keep hearing about certain things, that's when your antennas go up. So like they always say, where there's smoke, there's fire. So I began to just kind of study some stuff, man. And then when I heard this guy sued them this week and won, and he's just the first lawsuit of many that's coming down the pipeline. So that's when I really start to say, okay, like what's up with this? So, you know, I didn't know until you just mentioned that about the 68 companies. I mean, I just pulled that up as you were talking. I'm thinking like, man, that's basically everything that we eat. Hunt's, Hellman's, Green Giant, Hungry Jack, Jiffy, Keebler, Kellogg's, Kool-Aid, Kraft. I mean, wow, Lipton tea.
To catch up.
I'm like, Morningstar Farms. Now, Morningstar Farms is the company that makes the veggie burgers and stuff like that. So, wow. Because, you know, they have the soy and all that stuff in them. So I wonder, that's probably not even real soy then. Then they got Pepsi, Pepperidge Farms, Orville Redenbacher. So all the popcorn. So that's probably why they keep saying popcorn causes cancer, the microwave popcorn. Rice-A-Roni, Uncle Ben's. Jesus Christ. I mean, so what can you eat? Let's just go to show you, man, you know, this stuff that we're eating. And I've been telling people this for a while. You know, back in the day, I can go back at least maybe 30 years ago. The cancer numbers 30 years ago can't be what they are now. So what happened? You know what I'm saying? In the last 30 years, why are so many people dying of cancer, no matter how rich they are, how old they are, how young they are? It's got to be some kind of correlation to the food. What you think?
I agree. You are what you eat. What they say, and garbage in, garbage out. For whatever reason, it's got to be money driven.
Right. So let me get this right. So the spray, the Roundup spray. So is that something that they use on the crops?
I believe so. I would have to go back and look further, but I do know that Roundup is used to keep bugs and stuff off of the crop.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. Okay, so by using Roundup, soybean seeds, a farmer can spend less time tending to his fields. With Monsanto seeds, a farmer plants his crop, then treats it later with Roundup to kill the weeds. Wow. So that takes the place of labor-intensive weed control. So basically, they cutting out the middleman of the people out there cleaning up the weeds and just spraying it with something. Man, that's crazy. How are they getting away with that?
That's a good question.
I mean, I know in the majority of cases, Monsanto will sue or threatens to sue. The farmers will settle before going to trial. So maybe they're using like bully tactics to keep people quiet about it. I mean, that's crazy. So that's why it's such a big deal that this guy won this money. You know, but if he's terminally ill, like, I don't even know how he's going to enjoy the money.
He's not.
Right.
This is what I don't understand. How could one company have that much power? They got to be in the bed with somebody government-wise, because I'm saying, like, how do you get away with all this stuff?
I don't know. Maybe they have people who are similar to the lobbyists, that people that make sure that the people continue to go on without having to worry about being checked. I think it's really crazy, but I did see that there was some way also that us consumers can fight back. And they were saying that, for example, do better purchasing food locally than getting it from a grocery store who you don't know if it's done come from Timbuktu or wherever. You don't know what kind of spray that has been put on it. So, as I said earlier, I think those of us that get more involved and realize, you know, what the effects can be to us will do us a very good service to start working towards doing your own farming. I've spoken with a few people here recently that are doing that. And I don't know, how beneficial it is for them, but at least they're making an effort to make sure that they're not continuously taking in food that you have no idea. Like I was saying something to you earlier, this fruit that comes with like these grapes and apples and things that don't have a seed, that's
right.
That's crazy.
So these people that you're talking to, are they farmers or are they just growing gardens in their own communities? Because I know it's a lot of restrictions on people. The government don't even want you to really have your own personal gardens and stuff like that nowadays. You can't even collect rainwater. So is it people in the community or is it like actual farmers?
I think it's people in the community. For example, my father-in-law, he's part of this farming thing, if you will, over on 8 Mile and Ryan, over in that area. People from the community, they come and they tend to the crop, if you will, and then they benefit from it later on when it's time for harvest. So, what the restrictions are in terms of how much you can grow or whatever, but they have not been challenged by local officials. But I should be able to do my own crop in my backyard, I would think.
That's go to show you what I'm saying. This company started out selling chemicals. They're a biochemical company. So, they were doing like plastics and additives and artificial caffeine and dishwasher detergent, antifreeze, fertilizer. So that's what your background is. And now you're making seeds. That's already suspicious. So I think somebody told me they also sell the seeds that they're selling to some of the farmers. So in other words, you're kind of forced to use their products, even if you got your own. How you just control the whole market? You know what I'm saying? That's just nuts, man. What I'm going to do, though, I just pulled up something I'm going to play right quick. I'm going to play a video clip of someone basically outlining this cancer and Monsanto connection. I'm going to play that, and then we'll come back with more on this topic in a minute. So sit back and check this clip out, and we'll be right back with more right after this.
We're keeping it 100, unfiltered. With the radio pundits and we're unfiltered.
Hi, my name is Jeffrey Smith, and I've got some late-breaking news about Roundup, cancer, Monsanto, and EPA collusion. This comes to you because a lawsuit representing thousands of people with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma are suing Monsanto because these people used Roundup and Monsanto did not disclose the link between Roundup and cancer, specifically the active ingredient glyphosate, which was determined by the International Agency for Research on Cancer of the World Health Organization to be a probable human carcinogen. This determination was in March 2015. From the articles that were released in Monsanto's secret documents, including texts and emails, we can see a story of corruption that's so deep and so vast that it finally verifies with several smoking guns what those of us have been talking about for years, happening all over the world. I've traveled to 45 countries and seen this kind of corruption firsthand in many places. I'm going to be talking about all of this in a talk at Truth About Cancer, which is a live stream event. You can click on there and see it. But I want to give you a little taste of one smoking gun. Actually, it starts with a heartfelt appeal by Marianne Copley, a former EPA scientist who had to leave the agency because she had cancer. She wrote to Jess Rowland in March of 2013. She says, "Since I left the agency with cancer, I have studied the tumor process extensively, and I've done some mechanism comment. I have some mechanism comments would be very valuable to CARC." Now, CARC, C-A-R-C, is the Cancer Assessment Review Committee of the EPA, and Jess Rowland is a member. And in this letter, Marion puts out 14 different reasons why glyphosate, the active ingredient in Roundup, is linked to cancer. And she said, any one of these mechanisms alone listed can cause tumors, but glyphosate causes all of them simultaneously. It is essentially certain that glyphosate causes cancer, and she urged Jess Rowland, who was part of the CARC committee, to label glyphosate as a probable human carcinogen based on the evidence, which is exactly what the World Health Organization committee did 2 years later. Did Jess Rowland listen? Tragically, no. In fact, when the World Health Organization committee determined that they were going to look at glyphosate, They didn't tell Monsanto, Jess Rowland did. He leaked the information to Monsanto months before so that they could prepare their defense. As part of the defense, they were desperate to have no other committee of the U.S. government evaluate, especially a particular committee, part of Health and Human Services, and they said they were scared of a domestic IARC. IARC was the international agency that made the determination. They were scared that a domestic group would also determine that glyphosate was a probable human carcinogen. So they asked Jess to help kill the study by this other agency. And he and others at the EPA worked hard, and he even said, if I can kill this, I deserve a medal. Well, he killed it, along with others. They never did the other evaluation of Roundup. It was left to the EPA. The EPA's CARC, the Cancer Assessment Review Committee, that was co-chaired by Jess Rowland. And what did they determine? Surprise, no link to cancer. And before the report was finalized, and it's still not, quote, finalized, for some mysterious reason, it was posted on the EPA website. Monsanto quickly copied all of the pages. It was leaked to the press, and then it came down very quickly. And a few days later, Jess Rowland left the EPA. It was supposed to never be posted because it wasn't final. But Monsanto used that to argue in places around the world not to call glyphosate and its pesticide, its herbicide Roundup, a probable human carcinogen. So when Jess Rowland was able to leak the information to Monsanto, they created a classic Monsanto strategy also revealed in the leaked documents made available from the lawsuit, with ghostwriting and paying off people and getting papers retracted and creating their own papers that had a foregone conclusion. It's all there in black and white. I'll be sharing some of that at the Truth About Cancer live stream, and I invite you to participate. And in any case, even if you're watching this after the event is over, please share this video with others so that they can hear this appeal by Marion Copley and understand the collusion that occurs within the EPA. One more piece, and a text about Jess Rowland from one Monsanto executive to another. They said, Jess is doing a nice job. Well, a nice job for Monsanto, but not for you and me. Safe eating.
We the radio pundits and we're unfiltered.
You're back live right here on Unfiltered with Ernest, J. Lee, and Uncle Ron along with Laurel. That clip was a clip that I found while we were talking about this Monsanto and the cancer connection with this Roundup weed killer. So what I did while the clip was playing, I looked up the Roundup weed killer is a herbicide developed in the 70s by the Monsanto company that contains an active ingredient called glyphosate. Now that's what they're saying is causing the cancer, that particular ingredient. They're applying the weed killer to the entire fields without destroying crops. Mm-hmm. So it causes cancer, including non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Wow. So they got like several pending lawsuits. My man's lawsuit was just the one of many.
Right.
This is nuts, man. Wow.
Even going back to a few weeks ago when they went in the back of Popeyes, when the girl did the video on Popeyes a few weeks ago, and it was just like disgusting. It was like, y'all really like serving people this stuff for black people. To me, you know it's dirty and filthy back there, and it's just, you giving us this food. I can imagine what the government doing to save money. You know what I'm saying? Just to save. Like, I don't put nothing past nobody at this point.
It's just crazy, though, that you could have such a widespread outbreak of this stuff and the mainstream media doesn't report on it until, okay, they reporting on this lawsuit. But I'm saying, like, where's the outcry of this stuff at? And it's lucrative. I mean, like, Monsanto has an annual revenue of like $4.8 billion. So they're making money. Even the Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil. Not money itself, but the love of it. So, you know, like Uncle Ron said, if somebody getting their palms greased, ain't nobody gonna say nothing, especially the lobbyists. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna come against that. But again,
of course not.
So if you see all these people dying, though, and I don't know what the hard facts are, but I mentioned it a minute ago, like 30 years ago, you know, you had cancer and people may die of cancer, but it was more so like breast cancer or stuff like that, you know. And then now it's all kind of crazy cancer. Like, that's like the number one disease, it seems like. I mean, you only had to ask what people died of. Now it's cancer. It's like, you know. So I want to talk about this, though. So what do you guys think about the way that these people are overweight? And I'm just have to be real about it. So many people are overweight. Got to be a direct correlation with what we're eating. I mean, at some point, you have to watch what you eat. Not so much just, because everybody's not going to have a beach body. So I'm not saying that. But, then you can't just stop eating everything. You can't live in fear. But you really have to be discerning of what to eat. Look at the young girls now. They're developing at a higher rate. I mean, these girls look like they're grown and they're 12 and 13. So what do you guys think about that? I mean, what do you think it's in the food? Steroids or what?
Everything. I think they're putting everything in. You got to think. I talked to my brother about this not too long ago. I said, it's like 100 KFCs in Metro Detroit. Then you got Popeyes. And then you got Captain John's. And then you got the fish joints that sell chicken in them. Where's all this chicken getting made at? This can't be real chicken. Chickens don't grow that fast. You ain't popping out chickens like that every day, and we're eating chicken every day. On top of that, then you got McDonald's with the chicken patties and the hamburger patties. Where's all this meat coming from? It can't be real. A lot of this stuff is genetically modified, and you got serving 10,000 people a day. Like, come on now. And people buying 2 and 3 patties, 8 pieces of chicken. Where is this stuff coming? Y'all growing this stuff in the lab somewhere. Like, let's just be honest. This stuff that we eating it can't be real. It can't be. It's impossible.
That's hilarious that you said that, because I asked somebody that a minute ago too. Like, to be honest, I have not had chicken since last August. It's been almost a year. I think August 25th was the last time I had chicken. And my whole thing is, I'm not against, because a lot of people, they started watching that video on Netflix, What the Health. And so a lot of people, I'm not about to live in fear. I ain't gonna let one little documentary change my life. And I'm thinking, like, look, ain't nobody trying to change your life, but at the end of the day, if you see something is wrong, like even on that video that they showed on What the Hell, they show where they would take the dead pigs. The dead pigs would be sitting out in the sun, in the hot sun, in a dumpster. They said they would come back. Somebody that lived in the area said they would come back with a truck, load the dead pigs up, take them back to the farm, chop them up, grind them up, and feed them to the live pigs. Now, what kind of mess is that? You talking about what kind of mess is that? So I'm saying, like, so my whole thing is, like, I know that's not chicken, but if you even look at the chickens, like you said, if you are serving all this chicken every day, and we just in the United States, then they got KFC and McDonald's in China, and you know how many people over there. So, so my whole thing is, if you're serving all this chicken, all this meat, where is it coming from? I agree. You got to be genetically modifying chickens in the lab, because I think they said now I don't know what the real lifespan of a chicken is as it relates to being born and being ready to be eaten, but I read somewhere months ago they said the time frame, I might have been on What the Hell, they said that the time frame is like 2 weeks now from when they're born and when they're ready grown. Now, how in the heck, I was about to cuss, Jesus, how in the heck are you having a chicken being ready to eat in 2 weeks after it's been born?
I can't remember where I read this or heard about it, but they were saying that specifically Kentucky Fried Chickens were genetically modified to the point that when they were ready to eat, that they didn't have heads. Some kind of way they grew them without their heads, and so it made it, I guess, even more easy or quicker to do what you do with a chicken. But I'm kind of weaning myself off of that chicken thing too, because I agree with you. Where are all these chickens coming from?
Now, I'm gonna say this to y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all something y'all probably ain't noticed. In the last year or so, they done brought it back. But for about 5 years, KFC went to KFC. It wasn't Kentucky Fried Chicken. It went straight KFC. And a lot of people think that I'm reaching when I say this, but I think they went to KFC because they weren't serving chicken. I mean, I know that might... People gonna say, well, where your facts at? But think about it. Why you go from Kentucky Fried Chicken to KFC? Because you're not serving chicken. So just in case you get a lawsuit, just in case somebody try to sue you, heck, you can say, I ain't said I was serving chicken. Think about it. Because they went to KFC. Now, they're starting to put Kentucky Fried Chicken back out there now, especially with these newer promos and stuff, the commercials they got. But I think it's something to that, man. Because think about the steroids and stuff that they're having to pump up this stuff. Because again, the thing, What the Health said, that they pump so much of the steroids and the antibiotic stuff in there to grow them so fast and keep them, because their surrounding areas that they're growing in are not clean. So think about it. You're eating all of that. And then this one thing I'm going to say also, think about this. In your body as a human, you have blood. Okay, so if your blood is contaminated or is bad, or you get, an infection in your bloodline or whatever in your body, you get sick and you're contagious for a minute. So why don't we think that these animals are sick too? Like, I don't think we think about that. Like, we just think of animals as just animals instead of thinking them as living organisms. So if an animal is sick and it's got a virus or something, and we eat at the time they kill it and he's got a virus, like we're eating that virus. Like, and I'm not trying to be gross, but the point is, like, this is the reason why, again, when you talk about those chickens, if you watch some of those videos and they still walking around with their heads cut off and they still moving around and they serving it to you, eating this stuff, and you wonder why you got inflammation in your body. You wonder why you can't sleep at night and you got all this stuff going on. It's like some of the stuff that we're eating is not good for us. And again, that's why some people are overweight, because your body is trying to talk to you and let you know, hey, you eating the wrong thing. It's not that you're greedy, or it's not that you just a glutton spirit, you know. Or, I heard a pastor say gluttonous, which is not it's gluttony, right, Uncle Ron? We need to put that on our Facebook word of the week. But some stuff is just common sense, man.
Yeah, another thing is they make this stuff so cheap that it's more accessible. So you could go buy the McChicken for $1.29, but an organic steak, ribeye, just that's been pure, just died on its own, ain't never been killed by man, costs $20, and you make a minimum wage, and you can only really get the McChicken. You gonna get what say they make this stuff cheap for a reason, especially targeted towards the black community.
Not only black communities, but the poor
communities.
White
poor. Poor communities in general. To be honest with you, when you start getting up into society, it's really not about black and white. It's more about money and no money.
Oh yeah,
it's classism. It's not really racism. So in the poor neighborhood, that's why we talked about it before on the show. You know, you got 16 liquor stores in 1 square mile. Like, how does that happen? Like, you don't do that in a nice area, because again, they make this stuff accessible for you. Because again, man, let's be real. It's more about population control. I mean, people get thinking about it's conspiracy. What you talking? No, man. Listen, why they won't stop some of this stuff? Because it's too many people on the earth. They have to cleanse it. So at the end of the day, that's just what it is. I like to leave the conspiracy theories where it is, but I mean, some stuff is obvious. That's what it is. I mean, you know, this stuff is retarded, man. How do you have companies making $4.8 billion a year? They basically control all of the food supply and the food supply chain. Like, how does that happen? And then you got people dying of cancer, no matter their age, race, financial status. I mean, come on, man. This is something to this stuff. So what it boils down to is this. Somebody's getting their pockets lined, because there's cures for a lot of this disease, a lot of these sicknesses, but medicine and pills and going to the doctor is big business. Matter of fact, my wife just went to the doctor last week for, they told her she might have had pneumonia, right? So instead of them giving her the medicine she needed at first, and she had great insurance, that wasn't an issue. They told her if she wasn't feeling good in the next couple of days to come back. But guess what? Each visit back was $125 or something like that.
I bet. I just bet.
And she has wonderful insurance. What if a person don't have no insurance? What are they supposed to do? And see, this is why it goes back to what I said about the population control. If you ain't got money in this world, you hit. So again, that's why this show is called Unfiltered, because we hit it straight with no chasers, straight to the point, y'all. So right here, we're going to take a break and get to some music. I'm going to play this hot joint by Corin Hawthorne called Won't He Do It? And we'll be back with more to close it out today on Unfiltered right after this, y'all. Keep it locked.
K Classic. Oh. Nobody stopping my shine. They try to break me, try to take me out, but I got Jesus on my side. So bad I thought I would die, but ain't no power stronger than the one that came and laid down his life. And I got mountains to climb, but the enemy can't stop me, cause there's a calling on my life. So when I'm crying, don't last too long, cause he gon' step in and make it alright. Won't he do it? He said he would. Fight your battles for you, they gon' wonder how you sleep at night. Won't he do it? make it right. So ain't no need for stressing and crying, 'cause he gon' show up just like he did the last time. And the last time, and the last time, I know. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Yeah. He said he would. Fight your battles for you, they gon' wonder how you sleep at night. Won't he do it? Yes, he will. Yes, he will. Anybody tell you something different, you know that's a lie. You gon' look back and be so amazed. How it turned out, it's only his grace. Won't he do it? He said he would. So I trust him at all times. Won't he do it? He said he would. So I trust him at all times. Won't he do it? Yes, he will. So I trust him at all times. Won't he do it? I know he will. So I trust him at all times. Won't he do it? He said he will. So I trust him at all times.
We the radio pundits and we're unfiltered. Let's go. What up? This is your nephew, Ernest J. Lee, host of the new radio show, Unfiltered, with Ernest J. Lee and Uncle Ron. Just wanted to say thank you for tuning in on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But listen, I got some good news for y'all. You can now hear us every Friday night at 8 p.m. as well. Yup, that's right. You can now get even more Unfiltered every Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We like to call it Double Take Fridays right here on iWorship96.com, y'all. We gonna keep giving it to you straight with no churches, baby. So tune in and turn up with us for the latest news and hard-hitting topics, all with the comedic flow. Keep it locked right here on iWorship96.com, y'all. All facts, baby. Let's go.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is E. Lee, and you're back live on Unfiltered. You know, I had to just deviate for a second because, some things just leave you speechless. Like this domination of one company over our food supply. I mean, that's just mind-boggling. Like they say, absolute power corrupts absolutely. So, when ain't nobody checking you, that's bad. That's kind of dangerous. But that almost pales in comparison to our president, the leader of the free world, mind you, tweeting out yesterday that one of his former advisors is a dog. Well, we all know what the other word for a female dog is. So basically, that's what he was calling her. I just really don't understand the moral compass in some of our leaders, or should I say the lack thereof. I mean, as a human being in general, how can you just sit there and not be bothered by that? Has zero to do with the color of your skin. At some point, your humanity needs to just kick in. Come on, people. But the people that are apologists for him will say, oh, well, we knew what we were getting with him. And well, he's not a politician. He's not trained. And, my personal favorite is this. Well, yeah, he said some things that may be a little off base. But that's just his personality. He's just fiery. He's a off the cuff kind of guy. Man, if y'all don't stop with that junk, come on now. Where's the grace and dignity that shit encompass the office of president of the United States? He's the president, not the president of his company or the CEO of his company. He's the president. This man is representing our country, and whatever he says affects the world. Not just here, but the world. And not to mention the global markets and the economies all over the world. It's time to come off this partisan train of politics and get on the ship of humanity, y'all. Seriously. This is just seriously out of hand. Time is out for overlooking this racist and inflammatory language. Just call it what it is. Stop hiding behind the Christianity and the Republicans and the evangelicals are representatives of Christ and all that kind of crap. Man, cut it out. The most important commandment he gave us was love, that we love one another. Forget the economy and who's for abortion, who's not, who's for gay rights, who's not, who's for this, who's for that. Man, I don't care what party is in office. People are going to continue to do what they do, period. That's just like when you preach on Sunday and we lead worship on Sundays and Wednesdays and whatever day we at church. People still going to go out of there and do what they're going to do. I'm not saying don't stop. I'm saying you can't control people. So let's come off that. It's just amazing how self-righteous some of our Christian leaders can be. But at the end of the day, everybody does most things for their own personal aggrandizement and reasoning. They got their own thing and own way of doing it. So, that's what it is. But we really need to get a grip and open our eyes. Seriously. If you're talking about stay woke and being woke, it's time to get woke. We're quick to preach about sins and people's issues, but when it's convenient for us, or better yet, our pockets or our bottom lines, then it's all good. We tend to overlook that. And then we go back to our elementary schoolyard argument of, oh, well, Obama was this and Obama was that. Oh, God. Come on. Man, I just don't know. But some of us ain't gonna bow the bell, and we're gonna keep pushing, and we're gonna keep fighting this racist dog whistling that's emanating from this White House. That's what it is. It's dog whistling racist language. The same guy that said, the Charlottesville group were very fine people, the ones that were hollering blood and soil, they was very fine people. But as I think about it, if that didn't get you off the Trump train, then him calling the black woman a dog definitely won't. Since most of the people who like him are chauvinistic, just like him, just call it. I'm just calling it like it is today. It's unfiltered. But let me stop before I really say something. So, all right. But we'll be back with more Unfiltered right after this. Keep it locked, y'all.
What's up, y'all? This your boy Laurel, co-host of the Unfiltered Show with Ernest, J. Lee, and Uncle Ron. Listen, do you have a new single that you want played on air? Well, send it in and let us check it out. We're now accepting new music for our show. Also, if you have any music requests, send those in as well. Hit us up at the Unfiltered Radio Show at gmail.com. That's the Unfiltered Radio Show at gmail.com. Send us that new fire and let us make some joyful noise for the kingdom, y'all.
Hey, we're back here on Unfiltered. Now, before we go, you already know we got to have some fun before we leave. Uncle Ron, let's hit it with some of them Facebook keywords of the week.
Okay, so I don't have a whole lot of words for words of the week, but I did find this one was kind of interesting at a church. There was a sign on the front door of the church, and it said, "Please do not park on the curve, CURVE." Please do not park on the curve or in the handicap section. So I don't know if it's handicapped or handicapped, but I do know he said, "Do not park on the curve," and I thought that blessed me.
That sounds sensual. I don't know about that. Park on the curve.
And I'm assuming that they meant curb with the B. Well, in other news, we do have a report of someone who was graced or blessed to have come in contact with a gentleman who, in his words, he was thankful that he was able to meet a high-rank priest, of which he was humbled to have met this gentleman.
Uncle Ron, you made that up.
Not high ranking, just high rank, huh?
High rank. Well, I don't know whether he was humbled by the experience.
You know what? That's enough, y'all. All right. That's enough for the week, because we can go with this all night. We come to the end of another week, y'all, and we do hope that you enjoyed the combo today. We really need to start watching what we are eating. I mean, this thing is real out here, y'all. It's not a game. These are times of change, and change starts with us. So let's challenge ourselves to eat better. Seriously. And not only that, do some research for yourself on this type of stuff. You can't just be so heavenly bound that you know earthly good. You got to study and research and do your due diligence on some of these topics, especially what you put in your body. Your body is the temple. You only get one body, and it's the temple that God gave you, so you got to take care of that. So you'll be surprised at what you might find out. Remember, the Bible says that people perish for the lack of knowledge. So in all you're getting, get an understanding, y'all. And with that, we thankful that we got the whole crew this week. We'll be back at you again next week. Same time, same station. But until then, y'all, keep your nose on your face. Don't take no wooden nickels. LaRon, and you be back next week, all right? I ain't going to be coming looking for you. But anyway, we out, y'all. We'll holler next week. Peace.
Peace.
Some of us have been carrying many burdens, many scars, hurts from the past, from your childhood. But you can be set free today. You can be healed, because he sent healing for your soul. So let the healing begin. Let the healing begin in you. Let it begin in me. All over the world. Let the healing begin.
Begin in me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let the healing begin.
Begin to confess that thing to yourself.
Let your healing power.
Let it breathe.
Breathe on me.
We want you. Now tell the Lord, say, we need you. We need you right now, Lord.
Let the healing begin.
So let the healing begin.
Let it start right here.
Now
lift up your spirit to the Lord and tell him, things that I messed up, things that I tried and failed at. Let your power breathe on me. Think about what you've been through and tell him,
let it begin in me.
yeah.
Let your power fall and breathe, yeah, on me. Whoa. We want you, Jesus.
I can't do it by myself, Lord. That's why I need your light to shine on me.
Lord, let your light, let it shine down. Shine down on me.
Now, Lord, restore my confidence.
Oh, restore my confidence
in the things that I can't see. And Lord, if you do that, I'll be so thankful.
Oh Lord, I'll be so thankful. I'll be thankful that you heard my Thank you, Lord. Let the healing begin.
Let the healing begin in me today, right now, Lord.
Let it begin in me.
I need you to get on your feet and sing this real loud. Come on.
Lord, let your light, let it shine down. Shine down on me. When my confidence get a little shaky, restore it, Jesus. Restore my in the things that I cannot see. In things I can't see. When I come into your presence, I lift my hands and be thankful. I'll be so thankful that you heard my plea. That you heard my plea. So let it begin.
Let it begin, Lord.
Let it begin. Oh Lord, that's why I say let it start in me. Let it begin in me.
In my mind.
In my mind.
Way down in my soul.
Let it start in my soul.
Lord, have your way.
Lord, have your way.
I surrender my all to you.
Do it in me.
Do it in me.
Oh Lord.
Oh Lord.
Here I am.
Lord, here I am.
In need of your healing.
Send your love.
Heal right now.
And send your deliverance.
Do it, Jesus.
Lord, right now.
Oh yeah.
And you don't have to wait. Begin to
Lord,
declare.
I need a healing.
See it.
I need a touch
Begin
from
to
you.
feel it.
I can feel it.
It's moving all through you right
Let
now.
your power fall.
Let your glory fall.
Let your glory fall.
All over the world.
Oh yeah.
In our churches.
Heal our nation.
In our schools.
Heal our schools.
On our jobs. Let the healing begin. Even in that hospital bed right now. Lift your hands and say, Lord, let it begin in me. I feel the presence of God all around you. It's here right now. I can feel it. I can see it. Just lift your hands and receive it right now.
I receive that.
Thank you, Jesus.
Hallelujah. I'm healed.
I am healed
right now.
Yeah.
We want you, God.
We want you, Jesus.
You're our everything, God.
Everything.
Now just let the healing begin.
Let it begin
in me.
Oh.
Yeah.